The Walk and Talk vlog. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for joining me on this very rainy day, which is why I find myself inside this indoor football pitch that I've been spending a lot of time in, which is a great way to get some exercise in. I've been focusing on that rather than lifting weights in the gym in the last year. It's been a lot of fun playing in the football league or soccer league, and connecting with other people in the village, social, and it's beautiful. Anyway, today I really don't have a plan of where to take you guys. So if the rain stops, I might go outside for a walk, but for now, I think I might damage the microphone, so we'll stay here. Maybe we'll discuss a topic that is very important, as it's the focus of pretty much every human being that is born into this world, and that is chasing money and chasing different things that will make us quote-unquote successful. And it is one of the things that makes us the most miserable as well. So money is obviously essential in this system that we live in, and it has been for a long time, for a few hundred years, I suppose. At least that's what we're told. And it's kind of inescapable at this point, unless you're willing to sacrifice everything behind in terms of society and go live in the bush and hunt for yourself and just live completely off grid, which I suppose it is possible, although in many places, such as in Norway where I live, that's actually illegal. So you might not be able to do that either without any consequences. You might find yourself living off grid in a prison somewhere. But chasing money is something that we're born into. We're born into this world of scarcity. Although there is no real scarcity, it's manipulated.
Nah, I never liked John Venus. When I met him in person, I found him to be... I got bad vibes, like he was really dishonest and shit. I didn't mention anything at the time because, he was still posing as a vegan and he didn't do anything, to warrant criticism. So I'm not just gonna make a post about how I just don't like somebody for no particular reason other than vibes. But yeah, I never liked the guy. I always got bad vibes off him. Just random
Fake scarcity. It's a system of slavery to some extent. And so since everyone in the whole world is chasing that same desire, that same material possession of money, which allows for other things in life, we're all in the same boat in this as a...
Dude, this dumb motherfucker has to work 3 jobs for nothing. He has 4 kids or something, and his dumb bitch wife is refusing to work. He has to work 3 jobs now just to make ends meet. He doesn't get to have a nice car or motorcycle or computer, video games, any luxuries that any normal person would have. This dumb motherfucker is working 3 fucking jobs because the stupid ass hooked up with some fucking selfish, lazy chick who just wanted to use this guy to breed fucking kids and get taken care of. And then he's rambling on about how, society makes you want to work as a slave just so you can have nice things. You're working as a slave for fucking nothing, just taking care of some fucking raggedy old bitch with a bunch of dumb fucking kids. At least when I work and everyone else works, yeah, we get to have nice things. You don't get to have shit. You have a fucking wrinkly old fucking bitch wife who's aging like fucking milk or an avocado. and some dumb fucking kids. So who's worse off?
Humanity. But most of us don't really stop at getting enough means to survive, to have our basic needs met. We're constantly bombarded with propaganda and entertainment and inspirational videos about how to become richer, how to make more money in order to escape the matrix, or in order to have a happy life, in order to get the new car, the new house, etc. And I know a lot of you guys don't buy into that, but we are bound to this system and we can't really escape it. So the reason why I felt the call to talk about this specifically right now is because a lot of this last year and a half, 2 years has been about making sure that my family has enough to eat, enough food on the table, to make sure that all of the kids have everything, all their needs met in terms of nutrition, the healthiest food that we can possibly get them, and access to, school. Not that they go to school, one does. Access to clothing, the best winter clothes, which you really do need in a cold place like this, etc. So because we ran out of money after not working for 4 years.
So, by the way, here's the real story. His parents and his wife's parents were giving him money. And they were actually hopping between Barcelona, which is where his wife is from, and Norway, which is where John's from, to live with their parents. Their parents got fed up with paying for grown adults who are too lazy to work. So both their parents kicked them out. That's the story. Like he's not being honest. So he was bumming off his parents. They kicked him out. They were bumming off of his wife's parents. They kicked them out. Now they've actually had to get a job and work and make money.
And sort of leaving that whole, capitalistic money system for 4 years, eventually you run out. And so it came to a point where I had to focus on ways of getting money back in order to make sure that I was providing for the family. And in doing so, the thought process behind stressing when we're getting close to running completely out of money, when you get to that point of consistently needing to work out how you're going to get by every month, how not to overspend, it does become a stress, right? It is not a nice place to be, to make sure that you're not choosing the most expensive version of this or not buying too much of that.
I like having enough money to buy whatever I want. I'm poor now and I can't buy whatever I want, and I don't like that. I'm John Venus. I think I'm sharing deep intellectual thoughts.
Making sure that you're not wasting any food. Otherwise, who knows, you might miss a meal. It's not a nice stress to have in everyday life. And that is a situation that a lot of people find themselves in.
Oh my God.
And not only people who are not making a lot of money income-wise, it also is very similar to people who make a lot of money, because the amount that you spend just keeps going up the more you make, and so you're kind of in the same boat in terms of worrying about how much you're spending, how much you're making, savings, etc. it just looks a little bit different. You know, it's a different variation of the same issue. And so while one person is struggling to find out if they can afford an extra date at a restaurant this month, someone else might be worrying if they're gonna be able to afford a 3-week 5-star hotel trip to Thailand or something. And no matter how different those two scenarios seem, the same scarcity mindset, the same stresses and worries are still present in both of them.
No, they're not. Because worrying about not being able to eat or going homeless is not the same kind of stress as worrying about not being able to afford a vacation. You fucking idiot. This is like when that fat, ugly feminist chick said Twitter gave her PTSD, and she started arguing with a Marine Corps veteran on like whether or not you can get PTSD from like troll comments on Twitter. And she literally said you can develop PTSD from troll comments on Twitter and have the same severity of post-traumatic stress as someone who literally fought in fucking combat in a war. That is just so fucking ridiculous to say the stress of going homeless is the same as the stress of not being able to afford an expensive vacation. You're a fucking idiot.
And so I think for me, what I've learned a lot is to surrender a lot of that. Not to worry about the money, not to worry about whether or not you're going to be able to afford certain things. And that is obviously easier said than done, because when you're in the situation...
His parents still give him money, by the way. So if he's like short on rent or something, they'll give him like, you know, $100 or whatever. So like, yeah, it's easier not to stress out and worry when you know your parents are gonna like cover the bill to some extent.
When you're actually out of money completely and you have nowhere else to turn, it is kind of impossible not to worry. But the point is that the worrying in itself is not going to make a difference. It's just going to make the situation worse, and it's going to bring you to a state of fear, a state of despair that is going to make the solution.
Oh, this is great. This is really useful. He's giving us tips on how to handle being poor. You know, just don't worry about it, like whatever. You know, make up some kind of excuse to your landlord that you'll have the money in a week. You know, just forget about it, don't worry about it. Like, just trust me. Works out for me every time.
Much more hard to figure out, and you're going to be having a much harder time in manifesting a solution and finding ways out of that trap or that situation that you find yourself in when you're fearing and worrying and in that negative state of mind and emotion. And so when it comes to money, no matter how little you're making, no matter how much you're making, if you find yourself stressing about it, I think the most important thing is to realize how unimportant money actually is, apart from the basic survival needs, and that the fears of missing out and the fear of not having enough and the desire to have more is impacting your life in such a negative way that no amount of money that you could ever make could fix that. And that is why I've met extremely wealthy people in my life, whether it's millionaires or even billionaires, who have this issue with their emotional and mental health, and always the desire for more, and always the stress and the chip on their shoulder to do better financially. And it's a never-ending race. It's a rat race, And that's how it's.
Yeah, it's a race that they're winning. Like, buddy, if they're driving around in a Lamborghini, they don't have the same fucking problems you do. They still have a fucking Lamborghini. You don't have shit. This guy has a wrinkly wife who is just using him and coming up with excuses not to work. And this jackass has to work 3 fucking jobs just to make ends meet. And then he's saying, oh, I know a millionaire who's like worrying about stuff and making more money, so he's not in a different situation than me. Yeah, he's having a lot more fucking fun than you are, dipshit.
Supposed to be. You know, this is a system that is supposed to keep us entrapped for life. This is not a... You can never make enough money to escape this system. It's impossible. And so, if you focus instead, and that's been my experience, instead of worrying, instead of trying to figure out ways to escape the situation that you're in a fearful way, I believe the best way is to strip away a lot of these fears by challenging and questioning your belief systems around money, around how life should be, around why and the reasoning behind why you're trying to, you know, make money in the first place, why you're trying to get a bigger house, why you're trying to level up materially, and rather focus on why you're not focusing on the things that is directly in your control in every second of every day, in each moment of your life, which is your spiritual connection to the people around you, the service that you can provide to other people, the help that you can give someone that you didn't even realize you could be helping right now because you're so focused on your own fears and your own desires that you are completely blind to everyone else who is walking past, who is in a desperate need.
Dude, you're a dumb fuck. You have to work 3 fucking jobs right now. Like no shit, this dude's poor. He's talking about like, I'm so selfish, how can I help other people, da-da-da. Maybe learn how to fucking make money for yourself before worrying about some other people's bullshit. Like, what a stupid fucking thing to say when he's talking about struggling to make ends meet, not being able to buy enough food for him and his kids. And then he's like, what about all the other people I could help? Well, maybe if you'd help yourself and like get a better job or something, you'd be in a better position to like not only help your family but other people. But what is he even fucking doing? If like he said he's getting a 3rd job, where does he have the fucking free time to even shoot these stupid dumb fuck videos and wander around and play soccer if he's working 3 jobs? Like, is this some kind of disability thing where he's being found to be mentally retarded and the 3 jobs he's working are like 2 hours at a grocery store a week? I don't know what the fuck, like what the hell this guy's doing.
Of just a moment of human connection and someone to listen to them or just to be in their presence. And our emotional state can change so fast if we just allow ourselves to, because in the silence of the present moment, if we allow ourselves to get there, there is peace. There's always peace. You can't really be...
No, he's not vegan. He eats meat. He's a fucking retard.
...silent and have a clear mind and feel pain and torture at the same time. Because pain and torture and these horrible emotions come from these thoughts. Without the thoughts, those disappear. And so that is in our direct control right now at all times.
If you feel sad, you're going to feel sad. But if you don't feel sad, then you're not going to feel sad. Oh, that's cool. Oh, now I know if I'm sad and I don't want to feel sad, I'll stop feeling sad. Oh, good.
times. And it's difficult to do, and we resist doing the most necessary things in life because it does get us to challenge a lot of our beliefs and a lot of our actions, and also it requires us to humble ourselves and to realize that we may have been approaching things our entire lives completely wrong, and that is a difficult thing to do. But instead of chasing the money, maybe the best approach is to chase that stillness.
Buddy, you said you're working 3 jobs. Nobody is working 3 jobs if they're not chasing money.
And at peace, because
Bro, what a cope. I don't know why people can't just admit they fucked up when they're stupid. This guy fucked up in so many ways. Leaving the whole vegan movement for no reason. Who the fuck knows what the hell was going through his mind there. He was making really good money doing online coaching. He told me when I was with him, when we met up and did that collab, he was making $100K per year off of online coaching alone. And his wife or girlfriend at the time, I don't know if they were married yet, she was helping him out with it. He ended up leaving the vegan movement and talking about how a vegan diet ruined his health. And he showed a photo where he had like a pimple on his face. And a photo a week later when he started eating eggs and stuff and the pimple was gone. So apparently the eggs healed him from the disease he had because the pimple went away. And then obviously ruined his online reputation and career. Fucking married this idiot chick who's lazy and refuses to work. And then on top of that, he has a bunch of fucking kids he can't afford. Like, just admit you're a fucking idiot. You're a fuck up. You're stupid. You ruined your career. You ruined your reputation online. That was the reason you were able to make money. You got with some dumb bitch who's taking you for a ride. And for no reason you had a bunch of kids you can't afford. You're just a fucking idiot. And you fucked up. Your life is objectively worse compared to what it was before.
in that peaceful state, in that silence, a lot of these things that we're thinking about, a lot of these problems that we think we are facing might not be real, and you might see clearly beyond those things, and the solutions to that immediate threat financially might come to you effortlessly. And the only way to find out is to try. And that is in your power to do right now, this second. Doesn't require anything else rather than your silence for a prolonged period of time. Alright guys, rambling is over for today. Still raining outside, but maybe next time.
What a dipshit. Just complete dipshit.